a story of a deer that was pregnant and whose house had caught fire, it is said. So one of these days, this deer went to a very far place, more like a river, to go and have some water as she was waiting to give birth. On the left side, there was a hunter that wanted to hunt this deer. From the right side, there was a lion that was about to eat this deer. As she saw the situation to be very bad, this deer did not run away but kept on drinking water. The deer kept on drinking water simply because she had no option and she didn't have a way of escape because all the places were occupied. The place where she was drinking, it was a very big river such that she could not cross that river. So it so happened that as she was drinking water, the rains came. Those rains, they distracted the hunter because the hunter could not stand in the rains. So this hunter decided to pull the trigger at the deer. Then it so happened that this hunter had to miss the deer and the lion heard to say there was a gunshot. So the lion started focusing on the hunter and not necessarily the deer. So the lion began to chase the hunter, and as the lion began to chase the hunter, the deer found a way of escape and an opportunity to go and give birth out there. But the most important lesson about this story is on the fact that when the deer had to find itself in a very critical and a difficult situation or stage of life, the deer did not try to run away, but the deer kept on drinking water. Most of us, we find ourselves in situations that are very tough. Most of the time, we find ourselves in situations that are very critical. Education, things are not happening. Relationship-wise, things are not happening. Financially, things are not happening. Marital-wise, things are not happening. Most of us, instead of hoping for a better life, we end up giving up in certain areas of life. And I'm here to tell you to say, you must be like a deer. A deer did not give up. A deer kept on drinking water. The water here is a representation of keeping to place on that no matter what happens, that no matter what you encounter, your focus is on where you are heading to, not necessarily where you are coming from. Because where you're coming from, it is worse. Now, what the deer gave birth to, it is a representation of your career, your ambitions, and whatever that has to do with you. So you find that in order for you to give birth to your ambition, to give birth to your capabilities, your focus is not supposed to be on the danger, because the rains are a representation of God's favor and God's blessings. There is a certain way on how God makes his people escape from danger and any form of calamity. So it's important that we understand this. It's going to help us as we get to our college and everything that we do.